Hello there, my name is Jamie. I've got an amazing high-tech setup today with a phone perched on board games on my couch. I'm hoping it doesn't topple over. Let's see how we go. I've been asked to do a video on data. I work for Together an Active Future. If you don't know who we are, have a search on Google, other search engines are available, and check out what's going on. I also work for Healthy Pennine, Lancashire, and that's in a role with the Business Intelligence Leadership Team. And they are data experts from the CCGs, East Lancs Hospitals Trust and Public Health. And I've spent a couple of years now working with them, learning a lot, asking the questions that non-data specialists need to ask. And it's from that perspective today that I'm going to talk to you about data. So I was going to show you two tools. I now know, having tried to record this once, I can only show you one. So before we get into that, I'm going to suggest that if you are wanting to get into data and starting to look into some stuff, it's good to have a little bit of kind of understanding first. If you have access to BI or data experts, use it. As I've learned, there is so much data and so many different caveats and things you need to be aware of, that if you can access them, you absolutely should do. It's a great use of your time and theirs. However, not everybody has access to it, and I think there are some things you can do for yourself with some confidence, and I'll show you one of those today. But firstly, I think it's helpful knowing the type of data you are looking for before you get into it. There's such a wealth of data out there that it's a good idea to have a little bit of a filter you can apply, whether it's GP practice data you're interested in, unemployment levels, obesity levels, whatever it would be, have a good idea of what you're after first. Secondly, you'll find out or understand what levels these exist at. Some things stop at a district level, meaning you can only see Rosendale as a whole thing. Other things go a bit more local level, and down to ward level, and in some cases even down to postcode level. And then lastly, knowing how you'll know if something is better or worse than something else, or you're going to be comparing it to national averages, other wards, other districts, etc. If you can get a bit of a feel for those things before you jump into anything, that's a really good idea. So what I'm going to show you is one tool which is no longer public health fingertips, but if you don't know about that, that's a really good place to start, and that link there will take you to a great place. However, today I'm going to show you one thing, and this is for data at a more local level. And this is called the Pennine Lancs Mapping App, and it was developed by a colleague of mine from the BI leadership team called Anne Cunningham. And this does give you the granular level of detail as it exists for quite a lot of different types of indicators. I'm going to show you one now, which is an example I've brought up to just save us a bit of time. I'm just going to quickly turn the lights off and hope that you can therefore see that a bit better. So in this example, I've picked benefits as my category, and then people claiming employment support allowance for reasons of mental well-being. As we know, with the times we're going through right now, a couple of those things, mental well-being and loss of employment, are biggies. I thought that's why I'd show this one. But what this map does, which is great, is it goes down to a level where you can see the area of Rosendale by zooming in a little bit, and it gives you a colour-coded system so you can really quickly identify which areas may be struggling a little bit more than others. And by hovering over those areas then, it tells you the ward in this example, where it's at down here, and then it gives me the data that I need to for this particular area. So I've just hovered over one of the darker shaded areas, which in this case is the Irwell ward, and it gives me the number of people claiming ESA for mental wellbeing reasons, and it gives me a percentage of the population, and it also gives me the England average to compare it to. And as you can see, you can hover over different areas and it gives you the different stats and figures. It's a really good one for seeing where areas might be kind of not comparing too favourably with each other in the area of Rosendale. So a good one to get into. Not many people know about this tool, so there's a little bit of insider knowledge here for you to use. As you can see here, I'll quickly show you, the category has different things of benefits, children and young people, the economy, mortality, indices of deprivation. So there's lots of stuff here that you can do to check it out, and it goes down to the most detailed level of data that this data exists at. In some cases postcode, wards, in some cases a bit bigger. So a couple of things just to finish off with me. What data is great for, at least in my opinion, for what it's worth, is it's great to help you decide where you may want to focus some attention or some resources to help you. It can also test out assumptions that you already have. You might already have local knowledge that gives you most of what you need, and that can just test the assumption that you might have. It can give you confidence and justification for a course of action you might want to take, and also give others this confidence. And at a certain level, it can also give you a trajectory or a target of improvement you would like to get to, because you've got a baseline already for it based on what the data tells you. Things to be mindful of. You can paralyse yourself with data. Don't let it distract you from the bigger picture of what it is that you actually need to do. For anything that you require proper analysis, always get the data bods involved. It's absolutely, it's golden from what I've learned in the past couple of years, getting their input early on. And actually, data only gives you a small part of the picture. Prioritise the local intelligence. What is it that people are hearing, seeing and feeling in their streets and the communities? And then use data to test out what you think you know based on that. Takeaway messages finally. For proper analysis, get BI people involved. For high level stuff you can do yourself, check out the Pennine Lights mapping app, which is a great tool. Use the local knowledge of the people in the streets and communities who probably already know what the challenges are anyway, and then use data to test your assumptions and maybe help you. Don't use it as a distraction from the bigger question, what are we actually going to do about it? So, any questions, or if you didn't like anything I've said, just let me know. Waugh@nhs.net. Thank you very much. Goodbye.